On Monday, Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred denied reinstatement for Pete Rose. Some CineSport's Noah Coslov getting reaction to this from Associated Press sports columnist Jim Litke. Jim, are you surprised at all?
No, I really can't say that I am. I mean, Pete's answer when he met with Manfred about 3 months ago was that he was still gambling. He gambles on the ponies. He said he even gambled on some baseball. I'm not even sure what they hope to accomplish by the meeting, to be honest with you. I don't think baseball was ever going to budge, and frankly, Pete is never going to change. He's pretty much been the same guy his whole career. And so it's not a surprise in that sense. And really, he's almost adjusted to life as Pete Rose, kind of, quote, outlaw. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where this thing is going to stay. I personally, I've had a hard time figuring out where to be on this issue. I think I've been on both sides of it. It's basically spanned my entire time as a columnist with the Associated Press. And I've gone from, yeah, put him in the Hall to no, keep him out of the Hall. And, this to me is just sort of maybe one more confirmation that it's not going to happen.
And you go way back, so let's go back to that, how far back you go with this story with Pete, and then where you are now. He's not going to be in the Hall of Fame, but should he be?
I guess, like I said, I've gone back and forth on it so often. I was there when in the news conference in 1989 when Bartlett Giamatti, one of Rob Manfred's predecessors, announced the ban, and they were deadly serious about it at the time. It's a hypocritical stance in a lot of ways. There are guys in the Hall of Fame already who are a lot worse than Pete. Pete has his bat, a couple of shirts. I believe he's got a baseball cap. He's probably even got some cleats in there. So he's already part of the history. The question is whether he gets the formal honor or not. And to me, his issue, while it does go to the overall question of integrity, it doesn't actually affect the integrity of his playing days for sure. It may go to his integrity as a manager, but I'm very much against the guys that have had proven or at least documented steroid cases because that affected their ability to play on the field. The guy's the hits leader in baseball. It's pretty hard to deny his place in the historical context. Baseball felt it had a social responsibility to outlaw gambling and to drive it as far from the game as they could.
Yeah, and he's got a hits record that doesn't have an asterisk next to it, and that's more than you can say for a lot of Hall of Famers or guys that are still on the ballot. The fact is, though, that he just lied over and over again, and you could really make the argument, Jim, that he's better off not being in the Hall of Fame at this point in terms of just, I think, when it comes to money. He's more relevant now.
Well, as I said, Pete Rose outlaw is a banner he's worn fairly comfortably and I should say competently, because remember, he made a lot of money, autographs. He showed up at the Hall of Fame not long after another one of these bans were reinstated, and he was signing autographs right on the steps of the Hall of Fame. So he's been very defiant about it. I think, though, that I would be less upset if they gave him a plaque in the Hall of Fame and then they spelled out his history on the plaque. I think what's important to distinguish in Pete's case is it was not an on-the-field, advantage that he's being banned from the Hall for. It's being betting as a manager, and I think the notebooks that were discovered over the summer established that. I thought for a long time if he would just own up to it, that would probably clear him for entrance into the Hall. But as you just pointed out, he seems to be doing fine with his status.
Jim Litke of the Associated Press. Good talking to you. Thank you, Jim.
Pleasure. Thank you.